let's begin with the updates coming in from the United States of America. The Trump administration has already begun eliminating nearly 2,000 USAID jobs while placing thousands of others on leave. Now, this move follows a federal court ruling allowing the administration to proceed with its plans to cut the agency's workforce. Both Donald Trump and Elon Musk have argued that USAID promotes a liberal agenda and they want to slash federal spending. Critics, including the government unions, have called this move as unconstitutional, warning it that it undermines national security. However, the move that has escalated a month-long push to dismantle the agency, which has included closing its headquarters in Washington and shutting down thousands of aid and development programs worldwide, following an effort to freeze all foreign assistance. Donald Trump and Elon Musk contend that USAID's work was wasteful and furthers a liberal agenda. So nearly 2,000 employees are to be laid off, as mostly there are many of them whose staff still continues to remain on administrative leave. We have Rishabh with us, joining us. Rishabh, good morning. Now, this seems to be agenda that the Donald Trump and Elon Musk seems to be working jointly on, especially when they have been giving out statements that there were certain funds that were going for reasons which were futile to foreign nations, and they couldn't understand the agenda, why millions and millions of dollars were being spent, and that is the reason why the elimination of US aid has started.
Well, definitely, Amita. Good morning. In last one and a half week, we have seen Donald Trump himself, pointing out at the aid that has gone out of United States that does not, fulfill the needs of United States. For example, Donald Trump has been claiming that $21 million came to India for voter turnout. And we saw that video saying that if India needs voter turnout, he also needs voter turnout. He also raised
just interrupting you, Rishabh, because we're trying to get as many reactions as possible. Mr. Tripathi is connected with us right now. Mr. Tripathi, good morning to you. What do you make of this move now, finally, when the Trump administration has begun eliminating over 2,000 USAID jobs while placing thousands of others on administrative leave?
Well, it was part of Trump's policy, so-called policy of make America great again. And then Elon Musk has been entrusted with the job of downsizing the bureaucracy. That is what he is doing. And secondly, when he said that USAID will be slashed, that means if the main purpose of any organization or any office like USAID is slashed, then certainly the adverse effect directly impacts the employees, and employees have to be laid off. So that is being done, but I don't think that has got that will very much affect India, because it is their internal policy, and USAID is totally US organization, so it doesn't matter much about India. And in any case, the aid to India was peanuts, was very insignificant. So we don't have to worry about it.
But it has raised a concern over why money and millions of dollars were being spent on voter turnout. That is the question that President Trump time and again has also raised.
No, but India Today's survey, India Today's research had found that $21 million that Trump is boasting now and again was in fact for Bangladesh, not for India.
Sir, there are different reports based on that. As far as when it comes to Bangladesh having $29 million US, India being given $21 million US for voter turnout. But thank you very much, Mr. Tripathi, for joining us here on the broadcast. As far as reactions that continue to come in, there have been several unions there who have been representing the agency employees. That exactly, Rishabh, have challenged the administration's move to dismantle America's aid agency, which supports development and humanitarian projects overseas. How will they be impacted?
There are two things that we need to understand here. Definitely, there were associations that reached out to the court. They took the legal course to challenge President Trump's move, but now the court, the district court in New York, has given a green light to
Apologies, Rishabh, interrupting you again. Mr. Sajanhar is also connected with us. Mr. Sajanhar, as far as USAID is concerned and its millions of projects overseas that has been going on, as far as the funding itself is being questioned by both Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and they contend that the USAID's work is wasteful and furthers a liberal agenda. What's your take on it?
Yeah, basically, I think this is the approach that Donald Trump has had meaning USAID, right from the time that it started in the 50s and 60s, it has been an instrument of U.S. Soft power. Basically sending out money, giving out money, sending out U.S. experts to advise, to guide, to conduct training programs, skilling programs, providing education, healthcare, basically to promote the image and the influence of the United States. But he has come, Donald Trump has come to power saying that, this is wasteful, this does not go anywhere to improving the conditions of the American people. That is what he's focused on. His approach is purely transactional, that I will put in money where I get benefits for that money for the American people. And, this is his objective, make America great again. And he thinks, Elon Musk also thinks that putting money for USAID programs does not do anything for, improving the living conditions of the American people. I think this is a very short-sighted approach. Of course, we've seen that USAID money is, there is a lot of corruption, there is a lot of wastage, lot of pilferage. You target that, but putting the whole program to one side. And of course, we've seen in the case of India that it is also used for nefarious activities against the government, helping the liberal agenda, which is quite right. But you target that and don't take away, the beneficial elements of USAID, which unfortunately, as the saying goes, it is akin to throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So this is what Mr. Trump and Elon Musk seem to be doing.
All right. Mr. Sachin Sahar, thank you very much for joining in. Appreciate your opinion, joining us here on the broadcast as we are trying to get as many reactions as possible. Colonel J.S. Sodhi is also connected with us. Colonel Sodhi, how do you see this move? Because a federal court ruling allowed the administration to proceed with the plans to cut the agency's workforce. Many of them have now been sent on leave as well.
Jai Hind, Amita. It's my honor to be on your esteemed channel. Well, Donald Trump may have good intentions in, ensuring that the American taxpayers' money is not pilfered or wasted. But however, he should understand that USAID overall has been assisting many projects in many countries globally. If we go back a little in history, in 1971, as the war clouds between India and Pakistan were darkening and millions of refugees were coming from Bangladesh into India, it was USAID who had given that time 23 million American dollars for the aid and assistance of the refugees to India. And after that also, USAID has been doing many beneficial projects in India. Yes, of course, some of their projects have come under scanner in the recent past, but however, that should not be the reason for Donald Trump to totally cut off USAID, to totally fire every USAID employee, because after all, the aim of USAID has been noble. You see, in any pond, there will be certain fish which will be bad, which will try to misuse the system. But that should not be a reason to entirely close down that organization.
All right, because he has decided to close that off, saying that USAID actually promotes liberal agenda, Colonel Sodhi, and saying that he wants to splash when it comes to the federal spending. However, there are many of the critics there who are calling this move as unconstitutional.
Well, definitely, Amita, you see, it is unconstitutional. Even the American courts have started going against many of Donald Trump's directives for the simple reason what he's acting is in pure haste because he made certain promises to the American voters before the elections. Most of the leading think tanks in America had not given him any chance of winning, yet he won with a large margin. So now he feels that he has an obligation towards the American citizens. But however, Donald Trump should realize that speaking in election rallies and acting after attaining a constitutional post are two entirely different things. And any action as a constitutional authority involves a lot of laws and legal procedures and the constitutional framework. Right. So I think Donald Trump is now going a bit overboard, which in the due course, he will have to roll back many of his directives.
All right. Colonel Sodhi, thank you very much for joining in. Appreciate your point of view as far as we talk about this move that has now raised a lot of questions in the United States of America. But we listen in exactly what President Trump has to say, because he time and again reiterates his accusation and claiming that millions of dollars were allocated to India to assist with the elections. Let's listen in to the latest and the previous attacks on the Biden administration that Donald Trump has taken on.
Process in Moldova. $29 million goes to strengthen the political landscape and help them out so that they can vote for a radical left communist in Bangladesh. You had to see who they supported. You wouldn't believe, yeah, you would believe it. Nobody in this room would be in that group. $20 million for fiscal federalism and $19 million for biodiversity in Nepal. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. $18 million for helping India with its elections. Why the hell? Why don't we just go to all paper ballots? Let them help us with their elections, right? Voter ID. Wouldn't that be nice? We're giving money to India for elections. They don't need money. They take advantage of us pretty good. One of the highest tariff nations in the world. We try and sell something, they have a 200% tariff, and then we're giving them a lot of money to help them with their election. What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Wow, $21 million. I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government this is a total breakthrough. I have a lot of respect for India. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He just left, as you know, 2 days ago. But we're giving $21 million for voter turnout. It's voter turnout in India. What about, like, voter turnout here? $18 million for helping India.
So this is probably the fourth time